What is happening, guys? It's your main man, Matt, from the DFS 5-pack. I'm still rocking it solo. It's still Monday, December 20th. Just in the spirit of getting this out in time because the Browns 5 Eastern in a couple hours here. Just wanted to get on here and make a quick video. This is going to be a members-only public, talking over this 2-game Monday night slate. Already just dropped the 6-game NBA slate video, so check that out if you can. Before I get into this NFL info, I got to shout out my promoters real quick. So first off, Jazz Sports. If you sign up for Jazz Sports, you get a no-risk wager, $1,000 back on your first bet. So that's $1K back if your first wager's graded a loss. You just really can't beat that. I've been around this industry for a long time, bet a ton of different sites, and you just really don't see deals like that often. So I encourage everyone to check that out. As Loose Lines goes, Loose Lines is an affiliate of Jazz Sports. They offer really good lines over there, reduced juice, and a bunch of other perks. You have additional 50% off when you deposit there. So again, the links will be in the description section of the video. I encourage and would appreciate anyone to check it out. And with that being said, let's dive into some NFL. Let me share this screen. So we got 2 games. I'm going to do it position by position. I'm not even going to do it game by game just because we only got 2 games. I like these 2 gamers a lot more than the showdown slates. As far as today goes, I think my favorite quarterback on the board is Justin Fields, which is nuts. He looked pretty good last time out against Green Bay. He's very cheap at 5,300. There's skill position guys I really want to spend up on. Here, he's probably the best QB on the slate. I don't mind Derek Carr here. I don't Nick Mullins here. I mean, I'm going to be on Nick Chubb. I'm sure the world's going to be on Nick Chubb, but Mullins isn't like trash. He's not good, but talking about Justin Fields, so it's not like it'd be crazy if Mullins outscored Fields. I am looking to spend down, though, either on Fields or Mullins. Those are the guys I'm looking hardest at. I obviously can't fault anyone for just wanting to spend up on the safer Cousins or Carr here. As far as running back goes, really hard for me not to want to plug in just the top 2 guys. Chubb looks like a lock for me. I'm interested to see if maybe his ownership comes down a little bit. People thinking that Cleveland can't stay in this game. I think otherwise. I think Cleveland is in a good spot here. Like I mentioned, I don't think Mullins is trash at all. They're going to rely on their run game. Missing a couple of O-linemen hurts, but I still like the Browns in this spot. Now it's 3-point home underdogs. Give me all the Nick Chubb. And then DC, Dalvin Cook, definitely cooked up a show last time out on Thursday Night Football against the Steelers. Ran for over 200 on the ground, a couple touchdowns. He looked healthy now with 10 days off. I mean, he's probably the top overall player on the slate. I really want Chubb and Cook in my lineups. Other running backs are in play. Jacobs and Montgomery, sure. Interested to see if maybe Jacobs gets as much or similar ownership as Chubb because people think the Raiders are going to win this game now. D'Ernest Johnson, I think he's in play as a pivot off Chubb or with Chubb if you think the Browns really hold this game, which I think could happen. Wide receiver, also pretty top-heavy with Jefferson being by far the top guy. Hard to not want to get Jefferson in your lineups, especially with the Bears defense missing a ton of guys, especially in their secondary. This is why I'm looking to spend down on quarterback here because I like the skill position players. Renfro looks like a solid cog. Like Jefferson more if Thielen's out, but either way, he's the top receiver on the slate. If Thielen plays, though, I think getting off Jefferson, potentially pivoting to Thielen is a look. Like I mentioned, Renfro looks solid in all formats. He just is a cog in the machine everywhere because he's going to get the targets every week. Darnell Mooney's interesting. Wasn't great last week. Bird and Jakeem Grant stole the show. I'm interested in going back to Mooney. I'm upset his price is $5,500, but I don't mind him. KJ Osborne, definitely in play here, especially if you're fading Justin Jefferson and Thielen's out. If Thielen's out, I think that Osborne looks like a nice look in all formats, even with Jefferson. Not sure what to make of the Browns receivers, but Peoples-Jones, Higgins are probably my 2 favorites. Not sure who's going to be their number 3. Might be Jamarcus Bradley. If you're multi-entering, take shots on these guys. My favorite's going to be Higgins, I think. He obviously hasn't done much of anything this year. I still trust his talent and that Nick Mullins could hit him a couple of times. He's my favorite in tournaments. Obviously, I don't trust any of them. Peoples-Jones is probably the safest on paper. Weak tight end, especially with Waller out. Conklin looks okay if Thielen's out, especially. Moreau, no thanks. The guy I'm really looking at here is David Njoku at 3,600 with Austin Hooper out. And I believe Harrison Bryant, he's questionable. If he's in, I think he's sneaky at 2,500. But if he's out, it just makes me like Njoku at 3,600 even more. Spend on option. If you want to play Mullins, you can pair him with Mullins. I might do something like that, honestly. I want a little Bears exposure, though. So definitely different places to go. If I stick with Fields, and this is not a slate I need like, two guys with Fields or anything like that. Didn't talk about D. My favorite D on this slate. Always like a home D against Kirk Cousins. So I could get on board with the Bears. They have not been good, though. Shelled last week. The Browns coming off back-to-back good games against the Ravens. Backs against the wall here. I think on paper, they're probably my favorite D. So if I'm building from here, man, it's a little bit tough. But assuming Thielen's out, we'll go Osborne. And then, the Bears receivers are like the Browns receivers, and Grant, besides Mooney, but Grant and I can't trust them, but they're in playing tournaments. I'm shot Higgins, though. So give me Higgins here. And then at 59, got David Montgomery. Boom. So got 3 running back. If I went down to Mullins, I got Josh Jacobs. I don't have enough for Renfro. I'd like enough for Renfro. But again, this could change with Thielen in, et cetera. So also be willing and able to make changes to your lineup, depending on the Thielen news. So that's all I got for you guys. Short and sweet today. Wanted to get this out for you guys so you have time to watch it before the game starts. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Check out the description section. If you want more content, any of that stuff, go check out the DFS 5-pack. We'd love to have you. Thanks again.